It is a legal responsibility. I do not want my country to be complicit in the carrying out of war crimes. As the Dutch found out in Srebrenica, people who turn the other way are complicit. Which brings me to the penultimate point. I don't know why the MEK is still on the terrorist list. There are some smart lawyers here who are going to, I'm sure, tell you that it shouldn't be, and I don't think it should be either, but I'm not a lawyer. But I do know that there is not much evidence that I can see. No one has presented evidence to the Congress. No one has presented evidence to the intelligence committees behind closed doors. No one has presented any evidence in public or private, as I understand from members of the Intelligence Committee, that the terrorist justification for the MEK is either justified or legal. So there's only one explanation, which is that somehow the administration believes that if we keep them on the terrorist list, that the mullahs will be nice to us. Well, first of all, this is a failed foreign policy. I know the State Department has a long history of defending their mistakes. They're 15 years old, and this is another example of it. Somehow in 1997, we thought the mullahs might not send IEDs and blow up our troops, create atomic weapons, subsidize terrorism in the Middle East and all over the rest of the world. Somehow we thought if only we'll designate these folks and put them on the list, maybe the mullahs will be nice. It is 14 years later. I don't detect any niceness. In effect, we have ceded the creation of our foreign policy towards the nation of Iran to the mullahs who run Iran instead of the people who ought to be designing our State Department, which is the foreign policy, which is the President of the State Department. Now, I'm in this for two reasons. I'm in this because I think a terrible injustice is being done to 3,500 people who we promised to keep safe. Now, I believe the United States is a great nation and that we have to keep our word. But I'm in this for a bigger reason than that. The real reason I'm in this does not have much to do with Ashraf, and it doesn't have much to do with the MEK. It has to do with the United States of America. This country was founded on the notion that we were raising the bar on expectations of what human beings were all about 235 years ago. If you look at I'm not a big fan of this American exceptionalism stuff. I don't think Americans are better than Asians or South Americans or Africans or anybody else, but I do think we're an exceptional nation because of the content of our founding documents, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Because those documents set forth something that had never been done at that time. And so there's still some things in our Constitution that protect people that aren't in any other constitution in the world, mostly protection of political minorities, not ethnic minorities, because that is in a lot of other constitutions. What that means is the United States of America has stood as a beacon for the rest of the world. We don't always live up to our own standards, but we have a high standard of what our obligation is to our fellow man. The reason people have, even amidst our failings, admired the United States is because we were willing to expect more of ourselves as a nation. That is what is at stake here. How we are willing to act on what we can expect for ourselves. We started this 341 days ago, at least when I got involved, and you started this long before that. Mr. President, we need to act now, not just for the people in Ashraf, not just because we are wanting to stand up and have regime change in Iran. We need to act now because we are standing up for our own country when we stand up for the people in Ashraf. And if we fail to do that, we have not just been complicit in the murder of 3,500 people who we promised to defend. We are complicit in debasing our own country, and I do not believe that any American president ever should be part of that.